Extracting data, how to make it easier with BXBquery. This video shows how BXBquery allows to extract and export data to a text file, or even develop an extractor program in a friendly way, generating a SQL script, which is a structured set of commands to retrieve data from a relational database. Running BXBquery, you will see first the list of the data sources previously configured in the Microsoft Windows ODBC Administrator. This list contains only the data sources configured as system data sources. BXBquery will not consider any user data source. For this example, we will use a MySQL database as the source. However, any database with ODBC connection can be used. For example, SQL Server, Oracle, DB2, Firebird, and many others. Some data sources such as Progress may require the entry of username and password. As MySQL does not, when we click on Next, BXBquery will search the information for the relationship of tables in the database. This may take a few seconds. Obviously, this relationship should exist in the database. Then appears BXBquery friendly interface, where you can see at the top the menu bar, just below the toolbar, on the left side the list of the database's tables, in the center the design area where we can drag the selected tables for data extraction, below the properties grid which can be assigned to each selected column, and at the bottom of the screen the area where will be shown the result, an extractor program, which is also known as SQL script in technical language. When dragging a table to the design area, a panel will be shown there for these table, also with a list of its fields. Note that we also have the option to mark all that correspond to select all the fields in this table, and when we select a date field, 3 new fields are automatically extracted: the year, the month, and the year and month. The extraction of these fields is especially useful when the extractor program generated by BXBquery will be used in a business intelligence tool, because it will provide columns to summarize the values in annual and monthly periods. This feature, however, is not available for all database technologies. Initially, it has been prepared only for MySQL, Oracle, and SQL Server. In the tables list, the tables related to the drag table orders, in this case, are colored in wine color to represent the relationships. Dragging another table, its representation is also created in the design area. And if the tables are related, the relationship between the tables will also be represented. Let's drag 2 more tables to demonstrate the relationship. And if the database does not have the table's relationship information, let's see an example, disconnecting from the current base and connecting to a database without relationships. We can then build relationships by dragging the key field from one table to the associated key field in another table, thus creating the relationship manually. Now that we already have the diagram, we can choose the columns for data extraction, selecting one by one, or selecting all. While the columns are being selected, they will appear in the properties grid. Some properties can be used to enhance the SQL script. Alias. We may change the original name of the column, providing a more understandable name. Output. When deselect this option, the corresponding column will not be exported, but can be used to filter the data. It means, can take part of the where clause of the SQL script, as the example. Measure. The numeric columns are automatically associated to measures, and will also be enabled on the grouping screen. Grouping is used to get the data summarized, and activates the group by clause on the SQL script. None. Does not summarize the selected column. Count. To extract the number of lines. Let's take the ID column as example, which is the order number, typically a dimension, but due to be a numeric column, the order ID can be used to return the quantity of sales orders using the count option. If there is no intention to do this, we can deselect the option as measure in the properties grid. Another way to create a record counter will be exemplified in the creation of calculated columns later in this video. Sum will summarize by the value sum of the lines with the same content in its dimensions. AVG will summarize by the value average of the lines with the same content in its dimensions. Min extracts the minimum value. Max extracts the maximum value. Sort type allows to sort the data in crescent or decreasing order. Sort order. Here we can define in which sequence we want to have the columns sorted. In the menu, there are some other options available to compose the SQL script. Distinct eliminates duplicated lines. Add calculated field. Here we need to assign a name to the column. For example, sales value. In formula, the expression must be constructed using the columns list of the right, combined with mathematical operators. To select a column, double-click on the column name. Let's now create the expression which calculates sales value. Quantity multiplied by the price. Clicking on Confirm, the column will be added to the SQL script. Now let's illustrate the creation of a record counter. Click again on Add Calculated field. Let's assign quantity, for example, to the name of the column, and the expression is just number 1. So we created a counter. Now we can also test our extractor program, clicking on Show Lines, where there will be offered two options, Show All Lines, or Show 100 Lines, where we can also change the number of lines to be shown. The result of the SQL script may be exported to a text file with TXT extension to be edited with text file editors, or with extension CSV to be opened in Microsoft Excel or with OpenOffice Calc. If wanted, we can also save the BXBquery project. On the menu, click File, and then Save. To save the SQL script file, we shall use the Save SQL option from the toolbar. These files can be used by BXB Master, BXB Reports, or other business intelligence software tool. Thanks for your attention. To know more about BXBquery, please access BXBquery.com.